Welcome back to Shapez 2. My name is Nilaus and we are here with a train design overhaul specifically to focus on completing tasks as fast and as efficiently as possible. So the first thing we're going to do in this episode is just unlocking the color mixing. We are not going to go into color mixing today. That will be a separate episode, but we want those 500 platform points and a little bit of that. Plus we also want the this shape here to be part of our operator level improvements. So that is why we do that. We have 46 points and we're going to use those. So what we want to do today is we want to be designing a train system. And this train system should achieve one thing. And if we look at how many tasks, we really need to be able to make these tasks efficiently. Let's mark some of those up for grabs right now. And what I've been doing previously was sort of looking at these shapes and go like, okay, well, we kind of need some wedges, some circles, some wedges, some stars. Okay, where can we find that? And we start piecing it together, and that's a mess. We need all colors and all shapes collected in one different place so that we can build up to 5 levels for each of these. That's what we want to do. So that's the design we want to do. I'm facing north, and I'm going to be reserving. This is the center square. I'm going to have this as a little bit of buffer square, and then I'm going to be reserving some space out here for our design part here. And then I'm going to do a small train setup here. And this will be basically our sort of collective idea. I'll do it as a sort of module so that it goes within one of these smaller squares. And then at here, we are going to go in and merge it out like that. And we'll have a stop. That stop will be over here. And we need to have some unloading stations. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this train station will unload shapes. They will unload shapes where the first one is going to be circle, rectangle, star, and wedge. So we need to do that. So that means there's some work before going in here that they will be at. But that means we're getting all the pure shapes in here. And then, of course, we want the same thing for our colors. And then for colors, we can actually do it in 2 different ways. We can do it as both as composites or as or what I mean as the pure shapes, the normal, the original shapes, or as something. Oh, we don't have that unlocked. Or we can sort of do all 7 colors. But I don't want to do all 7 colors. I think I want to just do the basic ones because they are the ones that we can get in rapidly, and then we can transform it on site. But that means the most important update is actually getting fluid wagons going in here. There we go. Then I'm going to say, okay, a fluid wagon, that's 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put it here. And then we're going to get a fluid unload station, 1, 2, 3. So now we're using both levels. That means fluid wagons go on the ground level, and up on the top level we have... Let me get that. There we go. We have the shapes, and we do leave a little bit of space between them. This might be a little bit too much space between them, but yeah, I think there might be a little bit too much space between them. I think I could post both of them a little bit, one bit closer, and it would kind of still be better. There, and down here. That one. There. And we need, of course, also up here. Right. So that means there's a little bit less space for them to interact with here. I don't like it. I don't like it. I think this is better. And the reason why I think it's better like this is I do need some space here for transforming the different colors. So these colors will be red, blue, and green. Corresponding red, blue, and green. We want more colors here on the trains. But this is going to be our template build, and this is going to be building it for 1 level. So this is going to be level 5, level 4, level 3, level 2, and level 1. Although level 1 does not need that part here because there will be nothing. Oh, did I? Yeah, I did get all of it. Yes. And that means that if I want to build something, then I can start saying this place will build shape, the complete shape, but at level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, and then they sort of merge up, and then they go back onto the main line. That's the plan. This one, just get that completed. Here we go. Right, but this is not going to work because we need reds going in here, and we need blues, and we want all that. So we need some kind of way to transfer things on a station, and we're going to make a big transfer station here. It feels like this transition from like this is a little bit weird. We're gonna get inbound some trains. Wow, swing and a miss. There. There we go. And let's see. Yeah, I wanted to cut it out. I don't know. I actually don't know if this is where I want to cut it out from. Whatever. Let's just make it and then see what happens. Okay, so what I want to do here, I want to make a station. And should this be a wait? Oh, it has to be a wait station because I don't have any other stations. So I'm going to make a station here. And this station will be a loader for shapes. So it has to be loading. And it loads in. So basically, that will be repeatable. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. Yep. And then I'm gonna get a train station in. I don't know, maybe like this, which will unload. The first one will unload only the shape that we need. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm also gonna get another one, which will be just placed over here, just for oops. That one. I think like this. Okay, so what happens now? It goes in. This one somehow goes over to that one. There. All right. And then we do the same thing here. Go down and up. This one, go down. I think this looks nicer. Up here. Go down, that one, go in here and up. There you go. And that's actually as small as I can make it. So that means now we can have a normal train of coming in with pure circles. And with the next one is up here will be pure squares and or rectangles and then stars and wedges. So we just replicate this on the other side as well. And then of course we need on this train line, we need to bring stuff in. And here we are a little bit constrained because if we had 5 colors, it would be easy to have 5 trains going into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because otherwise it fills up from the wrong end. So unfortunately, we don't have that. So we have to, for now, just make do with something like this. Like that. And since we actually have quite a few points. Oh, what the? Oh, because this is not rails. I'm an idiot. There. I might just go double up these builds because it doesn't really matter at this point. We have so many platform points. And that's going to go in here. No, like that. 4 stops. Right? And that one goes in. And let's also make sure the other ones are tagged. Okay, so now we have trains going in and they go in here, fill up. The way that works is it goes into the first one. And then it'll gradually fill up, and then by the time it leaves, it goes out here. So now the next part is we need to set them up here. So since these trains are completely useless, I'm going to say the red one goes into the first, the blue one goes into... Oh my god. The blue one goes in here, and the green one goes in here. Then what are we going to do about the other ones? I'm going to get basically... saying this is red, man, and blue, and then this is blue and green. Yeah, okay, so this one, okay, so the most unlikely one to use is actually red, because that's level 5, and there's a big chance that we're not going to use level 5. So instead, I'm going to just say blue and green, go in here and fill this one up. It's not great, but it'll get going until we get more points. There. And this is now that line. It's perfect. Good. So this is now our transfer station. What we then need to do is we need to get some shapes in here. That means we need to go out, for example, here. There's a nice square shape, and the square shape goes up here. So what I need to do is make a square shaped design, and we are going to need it for 4 trains. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4 trains. And I want it to be like this. And then that could be over on the trains. It's going to be a loader. Flip it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this station really should be the other station, the one that we don't have yet, but we really want, the new kind of station. But which, since we don't have it, that's not really going on. And these are going to go in on completely dedicated train lines, so they can all be the same color. They just need to go, this one just needs to go, oh, and flipped. There. So it just needs to go in here, onto that one, and back again. And then we can just go, you know, we'll just get the red trains here. 1, 2 red trains. There we go. And they need to be 4 wagons long. So we're spending majority of our points is actually on this part. If we see this is 113 for each build. And we need to build this for all of them. So now it's just a matter of finding the other shapes, like the circles, the stars, see the stars here, and the wedges as well, and then bring them in. We're starting to get something in here, and we can see that it is working. We just unloaded some squares. The squares are going in, and they're being added. So these trains are still not really doing much, but you know, they will eventually get there. And we're also accruing a little bit of points from these milestones, so that's nice. Here we go. We got the wedges coming in, and then the only thing we're missing is actually the circles. And it's funny because the circle was the first one, but I think it's because the circles was just sent out. Yeah, and then they came in, and now there's another batch coming in. So they need to be changed to waiting stops, but we'll get to that. I think that these might actually be, we might have a solution for this before, depending on whether we choose to do secondary colors or wait stop. Both are very valuable. I don't know which one's more valuable actually, but it doesn't matter. We need to build the same thing like this, just for colors. Now I'm kind of thinking, should I make this also on the same level? I think I'm gonna make it at level 1 and then sort of bring it down. Now I'm gonna do a little bit different with colors, because colors is somehow merging better on belts, pipes, stuff. So we need to do the same thing. We're gonna be doing a stop. Let's make the first stop the same place as the other side here. And then this stop is going to be a liquid loader. And I'll get it. That one, that one, that one. And then this is going to be the baseline. 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to be making it down here. How far do we have to make it? And let's say 4 distance. This is going to be an unloader. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 should be a good distance. There we go. And this goes in, and I'm going to just copy the same thing. And then how much more space do I need? I think I need 1 more space because I just need to get below. Okay, so let's do pipes. And this one, did I do the wrong thing here? Yes, I did. Yeah, these were supposed to be liquid unloaders, like that. Liquid unloader, right? So this one, I'm actually going to consolidate it in here and then get it in here. Here. That one, that one, that one, and that one. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. And that now has to go here. And then go, oops. Go down. And then go and go up. And is this gonna work? Yeah, it has to make sure that it is a split. There. All right. That looks good. So this just, and then we just do the same thing on the other side. We'll basically copy the top one here. Like this, and then just remove these residuals, and that will be red, blue, and green. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Let's make that stuff. Why is this not working? Oh, because I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think here we do... no, they're going to be working at the same speed, so I think it's going to be the same as there. And a load station for liquids. That's going to be our first liquid loading station. There we go. And these should be not wait stations, but actually real stations, but that's not an option. And then I would go insane if I didn't use the blue train for this. So we are going to use the blue train. Then some liquid wagons, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's actually sort of the baseline for our design. This one will be going here. There we go. So that's done. And then I just do the same thing for the green and the red. All right, this is coming in. So we're starting to get some colors coming in. I just made it a little bit more compact because, well, that made more sense. Here, we're going to be making this, and this will obviously be in 3 different colors. So, one... Do I need 2 of these each? Yeah, I guess so. There. Just feels better. Oops. Just making sure that we have that. There we go. And it costs a little bit more, so if you're strained for platform points, then this might be a good place to save on cost, because, well, this is... What is this? Like, this station is 100 platform points. So these will now go... nope. They're just going to be 3 colors. And this is also confusing, because now these colors are not actually going to match the colors we have. Yeah, so yeah, that's going to be confusing. But over here, we're going to be taking this one and then go down and then go up here and then merge. Oh, crap. C for anchor point, and then it goes in. And then it should be going in here. They are going on the underside. Okay, so now I need to do this basically the same thing and go red is going into the first one. And blue is going into the second one. Green is going into the third one. And then green and blue are going to that. And then red is continuing into the last one. Yes. All right. So that's that means we should now, if you just let it settle a little bit, then we should be able to get started on working on this. So I'm actually going to save this blueprint as a complete module, and then we can actually stamp it down. It costs 521 platform units, but it doesn't cost any blueprint costs. So because none of this is actually something we're blueprinting, it's just yeah, platforms. So 521 platforms is what it costs. That's fine, and we're going to be saving it so that we have something that's the task train network. There. And of course, as usual, these ones are available to patron supporters. So if you are a patron supporter, you can get this, and it'll be here under this design. And I'll put some nicer icons on. So that's thank you to all the patrons who are supporting the channel. Then you get this easily accessible. And I'm going to build it exactly the same way, place over here. I just need to make absolutely sure that I build it the right place. I think it's here. Why? Well, what was those? Oh, because that one was part of the blueprint. Oh, crap. I think this is correct. If you look at it, it's on the... This one is just below. Perfect. Because when I build it like this, then I still face north. I still face north, like this. Oh, crap. Is that... Did I misplace the whole damn thing? I think I did. I think I did. Because what I really want to do is face north as I build it. Oh my god. Well, thanks to the magic of video editing, we're just going to move it down here. The good news about this restructuring was the fact that I now have accumulated some points from the operator levels, so we can actually make it the way that I wanted it to by going up here and then unlocking the secondary colors. Both of these are very valuable, but I think the secondary colors gives us a better blueprint right now for this. So that means we now can do extra colors. That means up here, extra colors, and that means down here, extra colors. And that means we now get the cyan and magenta also as available colors, and that means we can, this silly setup that I did here is no longer valid because it will never happen. The red one goes in. Actually, that's kind of funny because with this setup, I was never going to get anything down here, right? Because it would never get in here. That's actually funny. So the routing didn't actually work. There. And you're going to go in there. Perfect. And then that should work. And then I can do the same thing for the coloring as well, because the coloring will have exactly the same problem. And now it's finally time to put this to the test. And let's see. So we actually have this in both places, but I haven't bothered to set the other one up, though I really should. But let's do this for here. And let me just see. We're not getting the colors into this one yet, but they are coming in now, and they should be, let's see, the teal, that's empty? Oh, it's not empty. Okay, so that's the, how is that shape not filled? Oh, come on, star shapes. Yeah, I think it just needs to fill up a little bit. The star shapes are coming down here. Okay, I'm just going to assume that it works. We're going to be starting the first one. So that is half of a circle and half of a wedge. And then we just go our blueprints. We know we have one that cuts half. And that is going to be, circle is going to be the first one, and wedge is going to be, let's go up to ground level. There we go. Or then we're going to be seeing which one is, we're always facing north. So this needs to be rotated 180 degrees. That's like this. And then they need to be put back together. That's like this. And it goes like that. And then we have our shape exactly as we want it. And then we just need, from here, we need a tiny little train station. This one we also really would like it to be better. And by that I mean using, what's it called? Using the wait stop instead. And this one is going to be a small train. I'm going to be using yellow because it's a good color. But this is the color that we don't use for anything else. And we're going to make a single one of these because I'm just making it on a single line. And that just all needs to do is go in here. And that should just work. So this is kind of how easy we make the first one. And you can see now that what is going to take more time is actually waiting for this to complete, which is why we need multiple of these setups. So I also need to prepare the other side. I still have 1000 points, so I think I should be able to do that. So the second one is set up. We have actually completed the first milestone, but I'm going to be starting to work on the second one here, all the way from here, because, well, why not? Why not, indeed? So what we need here is we need a single square and a single here. So that's, again, something we have done before. So here we have circle there, and we also have a rectangle here. And then I just need a rotator in between. And then that means we come out with this. That is the correct one. And this one needs to be rotated a little bit more. That is one counterclockwise. Yes. And now they are correct. They need to be merged together. There. And then they need to be colored. Like that. And then we take a color. That's the blue color we need. Going here. And then goes up right when we need it. And this is then going to be using basically the same little design as that station here. Just flip it and that goes in on the main line. Excellent. And we have the first milestone here, and then we go over and take a look at how easy or slash difficult it is to change it. So for example, now we're actually looking at this and go, oh, so what we did before was completely useless, because that's not at all what we want. We do still need the ground level is now going to be just this one, but then painted like this. Painted red. Good. So that's fine. And then we need the half circle on top. And then we go over here and cut, and it gets the cutting the half circle. Circle is the one that's front. So we get the half circle. Is it on the right spot? Yes, it is. So that just needs to be put on top. So we drag it from the level 2 back over, merge it to level 1, and then merge it back into the train. And that's how easy we build this. Let's see, this part, I'll just press I to remove everything that's in there. And then we have the next shape. And can we see that it is correct? It is correct. And then you can see that's how fast it goes. And we haven't even, this is not even started yet. So technically at this point with these simple shapes, I could easily support 4 of these at the same time, but I just don't have the channel point or the platform points for it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sit here and wait for these 2 to come home. One thing worth considering about this design here is how much, you can say, overhead there is. Like I'm making this tiny shape and I'm using all those resources. Like this is 573. That means that's completely absurd. But as the shapes get more complicated, this becomes more valuable. And also the speed by which we can transfer to the next one. So again, this is only on a single level. So that's kind of weird. I'm just going to be deleting all of this because I think it's easier just to redo it from here, and then we'll just also do that, and then you can go out. So basically we're going to be doing a cut a diagonal. There we go. And that's going to be on the square one because they need square diagonals. Then they need circles and wedges. I only need that in half here. So we're going to be doing that there and there. And then we're going to see if they are positioned correctly. This is not positioned correctly. So you're going to be doing that. So this is correct. You are in the lower right hand corner. So you need to be rotated 1 counterclockwise. And you here need to be rotated 1 clockwise. There. So now all of them are in the right positions. And then we just need to stack them on top of each other. These two, and then we need a coloring at the end. There, and looks like our little train needs to go a little bit further ahead. There, and just need the routing there, and then on the ground level. That is unfortunately not the case anymore, and you go, whoops. Oops, that's definitely not it. Here, there we go. And then that is actually done for this level. And let's confirm. Okay, it got some shapes here, and then the last shape goes in. Yep, it's the right shape, and hopefully it turns blue and goes back. And we're just as we're doing that, we can see that the next one is almost done. I mean, I was thinking, it'll actually be done just in time, but we see that there's a little bit more, and we just wait for this, and we can actually just go out here and see. Okay, so that gets a lot more complicated, which is really nice because that's exactly what we want to see. We want to get more complicated because the more complicated it gets, the better it is for us. So what do we have now? Now we have a star on the bottom level, and then we have the same shapes on the top. So now that you can do it in a million different ways, but the way I do it is here. I just copy it down there, and then I get a star shape over on this side. So that is, the star shape is coming here, and that needs to go just one out, and then it needs to be merged on top here, and then it can continue out here. There we go. That's it. The best thing about this system, in my opinion, is how easy it is to replace, because all these tasks are things that we have to make that once, and as soon as you're done with it, you don't have to make it anymore. So what do we do now? Let me see. I'm pretty sure that everyone in their right mind would be doing this in a different sense. I would just go like, oh well, if we already have this one blue and we need another one that's uncolored, then just flip them around. But no. Consistency. I need to do this like this, and then have level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Always like that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna go insane from just kind of weirdness. What we're gonna do now is we are going to take the second level and color that, which is exactly the same as what we have on the previous level. So that's now going to be colored. Then I need to bring it over to stack on top of, always on top of the next one, and then it goes in. It's like that. It's super simple for the next one, and we just now have to wait for the other shape to come in. And you can see slowly we're building up platform points, but if we just look at like this beginning here, it takes 500 platform points just to get going, plus another 113 for each of these loading stations. So and there's 7 stations here, so I'll need for just the basic infrastructure, I would need 1,500 points. So until we have like in excess of 1,500 points, we can't actually build the third of these task builders. So we're gonna have to make do with just having 2 at once. Next milestone completed, and it gets a little bit more complicated. And let's see, so it's still only 3 layers, but now it's full layers. That's interesting. And that means the first one here is going to be the ground level is still going to retain the star shape, but the other ones will no longer be cut. They'll just be full shapes, but they will also need to be colored. So I'm going to get a coloring over here. Okay, that's not working. Coloring. You're going to go in there. You're going to go in as full shapes. And I then need the coloring. Nope, that's already here. So that was weird. There. So red comes in, gets this one colored. Red goes on top of the other shape that's also going to be there. And this shape here, let me just press O, that connects everything. And then O, everything, and I. There we go. It shouldn't be getting anything more inbound. There. So we need to clean these out and clean this one out as well, so that it's ready to receive the next one. That's another one completed. We got 3 points. Unfortunately, not quite what we need. We need 1 more point. And then we see the only difference here is that we now have a circle-ish that goes on top here, and it's uncolored, and it's a level 3. So we just need to make that shape here. We go over, and this one will be a split by a diagonal on that one. And then we can see which one it is. It's going to be this one that I only need to take half of it. We'll do here. So this is actually completely perfect. And that means these two can be merged together. Yeah. Then I have all of the circle parts, and then I just need the wedge part, which will be one of the simple ones we have. There, and a rotator in between, and then we see that it's rotated correctly. Nope, it's not. Then I need to rotate it 1 more clockwise. There we go. It's in the right direction, or right connection. Copy and shift flip to get it in there, and that should be our shape. Then I just need to output this part so that I can get my 3rd level on top of the 2nd level on top of the 1st level. And then we just need to clean out all this stuff here so we don't have any residuals. And we get another completed here. This is the penultimate within the doomed spiker. So what we need is we need a blue wedge on top. We're just going to cut that one out because that's no longer going to be valid. And like this, and like this, and like that. There. And therefore we need over here, that's just a pure wedge, and it just needs to be colored. So it's basically, this is the back one here. And that one, and then it needs to be colored blue. That we can do as well. There we go. And then that needs to go into this shape here, where it needs to be stacked on top. In here, and in there. And then the rest will just flow, and this is going to be deleted because that's just residuals. Now we also have 34 points, and that means I can get another upgrade. What I want to upgrade is the weight stop. The weight stop is super important because that changes, instead of they go here and then leave, then we're actually going to be changing this to C, tab, and then shift click it in. So this one will now mean that if there's something on the stop, if there's anything on the stop, it'll stop here. If there's nothing on this one, like even if it's just a single one, then it will actually go in. Then it will pause here until there's a full train, which is super important or super nice for a lot of things, particularly also these ones. I'm not sure I want to, there we go. So this one will now, when it comes back, it'll just wait for picking up these new shapes. And what I also want it for is not these ones, but actually all of these out here. All these out here needs to be changed because I don't want the trains to depart from, I don't know, far away and then then leave without them being full. So all of these need to be changed. Shift click it back in. That's going to take a little bit of time, but I'll do that while the other ones are chugging along. There we go, another one completed, and now we just have the final form on the side. So what is the final form is a fourth layer, which is exactly the same as the previous layer, which is the beauty of copy paste. We can just go like that. Then let's actually cut this out so that we don't get any more. And that will get us a coloring book here. And that needs to be red. And okay, let's, yep. That one's working, and we just clean out there. There we go. So that is done. What I'm doing, using all these platform points, you can see I don't have any platform points. That's because I'm in the process of building a third one. Problem is that I built it and I managed to get the squares and the blue and the red inbound. So working my way towards 113, then I can build the green. And then I'm gonna have another 3 times 113 before I can get all the other shapes in here. And probably a little bit more since I have to go further out. And once I have that, then we actually have the opportunity to make 3, but that's kind of, now it's just scaling up so we can get multiple working in parallel, and that will speed us up quite a lot. But yeah, 15,000 here, 15,000 here, that's a lot. And we can't even work on anything else in the meantime, which is a little bit sad. But I think that what we could do was maybe start working on this, but I don't really bother with it because that's going to be sort of a separate episode where we start doing the color mixing. There we go. We have now both of these final milestones completed. Done and done. So the beautiful part about this is that now we're never going to be using these designs again. And therefore there is no reason to keep them. Just like that. It's all gone. And similarly over here. Get from that location. And it's all gone. And then we're just ready to get the next one started. I mean, this train station is also a little silly. Because it has a train that is kind of... did I misplace it? Yes, I did. There. Yeah. So that's ready. And now these two are ready for the next pin task. So we'll take those 2 pin tasks and then we can just continue. In the meantime, I've also spent some more points. We got everything except the wedges up here, and that means we can actually have 3 of these now working because we still have a few platform points. Also, another thing that while I was waiting, I also redid my blueprint build. This blueprint build is so small now because I'm now using trains to bring it even from here to here. And we found some place like that's really far away where we had exactly the 2 shapes we needed. And I guess next time we might go into the color mixing and actually get this one to be colored so we get more points, even though we don't really need it right now. But then it's yeah, it's something we need. But we also have like these 2 milestones, and then we can get started on the color milestones next time as well. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good place to end this episode. We have completed 2 pin tasks or 2 tasks really quickly, and yeah, we have this setup and it works just absolutely amazingly. And it's also pretty easy to see if something is missing. If some of this is running out, then it's easy to see. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you want to get inspired to do something maybe similar in your own game. And of course, if you are a patron, then all these blueprints are available to use. So you can just plop them down in your own base. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care and stay effective.